Hello, sensitive souls, wise women, and wisdom seekers. I'm Biz Cush, and I am your host here on the Awaken Your Wise Woman podcast. And we are really, truly closing up the end of season 3. I have shared a few replay episodes over the summer. And there'll be one more replay after this current episode with April Snow, and we're talking about highly sensitive women. And you'll get the significance of that shortly as I talk a little bit more about what's coming in the coaching world. But we are closing it out for real, season 3, and we'll start season 4. My guess is by the end of September. New episodes will be being released, so keep your stations tuned. Keep your podcast platforms where you listen. Check them out. See when the new releases are coming. But I'm really excited about what's on the horizon for the podcast. But before we get to that, I had the pleasure of this summer being a guest on quite a few other podcasts, which I wanted to give a shout out to here and mention. That's another place you can find me. I got to be a guest on the Happy Brain podcast, which really focuses on small, easy ways to build your own happiness and move through difficult times. I was also on the Healthy Mind, Healthy Life podcast, which was also another just a quick episode, but really full of great stuff. And then on the Love Your Life show, which Susie Pettit and I really dove into IFS and parts work. And that was a wonderful conversation that I really, truly enjoyed. And then I was also on the Pain Game podcast, where we talked about trauma and healing and using parts work to heal. And once again, another great host, another great podcast. So check out those podcasts. I will link to those episodes in the show notes so that you can easily find them, but you can also search them out wherever you listen to podcasts by the show name. Some exciting updates for things that are coming. Not just the podcast season 4, but I am also starting a group for sensitive women that begins in the fall as well. The group is called Sensitive, Strong, and Unstoppable, a group for women who feel it all. And I am so excited about this. I haven't done a group in a long time, and I really am just feeling so deeply in my soul that this is needed. And it just feels super aligned with, one, just my work, but also with the women that I work with. So I am really, really excited, and you can find out more. Pretty soon there'll be a webpage that shares more about it, but you can also get on the email list to express your interest. And there you can book a 30-minute call with me if you want to talk to me to find out even more. Ask me whatever questions you have, but I'll give you a little info right now. So we'll be meeting 6 times every other week via Zoom for 90 minutes. And each session is only $40, which is a huge value. I'm going to keep the group small, no more than 8 people per group. And I'm still working on the days and times that work best for those who are interested, but also for my own schedule. Some of the topics that we're going to explore are highly sensitive strengths and struggles, self-compassion, building a self-compassion practice, building a mindful meditation practice, and using mindfulness in your everyday life to help you better assess how you're feeling, what you need. Do you need to rest? Do you need to give more? IFS and parts work, we're going to explore our sensitive parts and what they need, but also other parts that might get in the way, like our overdoing part or our inner critical part. And we're going to explore how to build that trust within your own system so that you are taking care of yourself, your sensitivities, your body, your mind, and your spirit. So if you go to elizabethcushcoaching.com, you will find a button there that links to the email list sign up. But through that sign up, you could also choose to book a 30-minute call with me instead. And it's free, the call. The 30-minute call is free. And you can ask me questions. We can figure out if this group is the right fit for you. All that. And again, like I said, I am just so excited for this to begin. I'm hoping to get it up and running if there's enough interest by the end of September. So then we don't flow into the holidays. So it'll wrap up before the holidays. Fingers crossed, that's the plan. So a little bit more about season 4 of the podcast. I've already got a few guests scheduled, which I'm super excited about. And I am really always, it's just so fulfilling to dive into these conversations with amazingly wise women and their work, the personal work, as well as their professional work. And so what we're going to be talking about this season on the podcast is a little bit more about parts work, because you know how important that is for me. So we will dive a little deeper into IFS and parts work with our guests. I'm also going to be exploring a little bit more about body work and using our bodies to better understand how we can engage with societal healing. So taking our own temperature to figure out what we need in order to help others and help ourselves. We're also going to work on tapping into our intuition and building self-trust. Really important to really get to know yourself and build that intuition so that you are more attuned within. Another one of my favorite topics, healing with nature or naturally. I'm hopefully going to get somebody to talk about shamanic healing, Ayurveda, and other methods of naturally healing our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. And lastly, we're going to talk about building happiness, because I have mixed emotions about this topic, but my idea is that sometimes we get caught up in the negative. Sometimes it's hard for us to shift and to get out of the worry and the stress and the future planning mode of trying to keep everything under control. And I think life is too short. We need to be able to live in the moment, appreciate what is here, and bring a little more joy and awe and happiness into our lives. So it's going to be a great season 4. It's going to be so great. I'm so excited. Again, already have guests scheduled, so I'm super, super pumped to get those out to you. And once again, this year we will be releasing new episodes every other week. So this is I don't know if you call that bi-weekly. That feels like I'm coming out twice a week, but every other week. And in between those weeks, if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll get my newsletter on the off weeks of the podcast. So you'll get all kinds of great information if you sign up. Again, you can do that through my newsletter. Through my website, elizabethcushcoaching.com. Cush is spelled with a C. Elizabeth is spelled just like you would spell Elizabeth. But yeah, I would love to have you there as part of the group, part of the Wise Woman Coalition. All right, that's all for now. Again, if you're interested in being a part of a group with like-minded women, like-minded sensitive women, if you want to learn more about parts work and inner healing and self-compassion and mindfulness and how that all connects to help us better understand ourselves and be more present with our partners and our loved ones, sign up, get on the list, book a 30-minute call. Well, I'm super excited. The podcast will probably have a couple week break before we jump in with season 4, and I can't wait to see you there.